Campaigns of World War II, The Eastern Front. By Duncan Anderson, Lloyd Clark and Stephen Walsh. Digitally narrated in the voice of William Birch. Published by Amber Books and produced by Deep Zen. 1. Preparing for Barbarossa. Operation Barbarossa, the largest military offensive in history, launched a struggle between Germany and the Soviet Union on the Eastern Front that was to last nearly 4 years. The intensity of the fighting during that period was remarkable, and the barbarity and destruction that came in its wake retained their ability to shock and appall some 60 years later. Militarily, the fighting on the Eastern Front continues to absorb scholars from around the world. The way in which a poorly prepared Soviet Union survived the initial German onslaught in 1941 and gradually overwhelmed their enemy is a story of immense significance to world history and of interest not only to academics but also to today's military officers. The inability of the Germans to achieve their aims in Operation Barbarossa marked a crucial turning point in World War II. Their failure to achieve a swift victory over an enemy with access to such enormous resources was to have tremendous ramifications for Germany until the end of the war. The very idea that Adolf Hitler should undertake an invasion of the Soviet Union seems fundamentally flawed. Nevertheless, in 1941, the Führer found some compelling incentives to undertake just such an action. Some of the most compelling reasons why Operation Barbarossa failed can be said to stem from Hitler's many justifications for the offensive being launched in the first place. Hitler was never shy of using the military machine that he had so assiduously built up in the 1930s in order to achieve his political aims. But, when faced with satisfying his aims in the Soviet Union, the German armed forces and the economic infrastructure that supported them were found severely wanting. The quest for living space. Hitler's dream of creating a self-sufficient thousand-year Reich, stretching from the Atlantic coast to the Ural Mountains, depended upon the attainment of Lebensraum, living space, in the east, where there were vital agricultural and economic assets that could be seized. Russia, however, was not like Austria of the Sudetenland, where the German army needed to do little more than march in and occupy such areas. Nor was it like Poland, France, other Low Countries, where armed resistance was quickly overcome. Russia was an entirely different prospect. Any invasion of the Soviet Union would be a titanic struggle against a nation with the potential to fight over a protracted period, a reality that put enormous pressure on the German military to finish the job quickly. However, it should not be forgotten that a German invasion of the Soviet Union also required the purification of an area that was to become.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?